Hey, what's going on, all you diecast enthusiasts? Here's another indoor close-up of the layout. I was going to do this video on this layout, but I think the cars that I acquired are more conducive to the Dead Man's Curve layout. I am happy with the result of this, though. I think it came out quite nice. I think my one major critique of it would be the width of the road. I think it might be a little too wide. But you can fit anything 1 to 64 all the way up to 1 to 55 and possibly 1 to 32nd. But you get a 1 to 64 scale car on the road and it looks a little bit wide. But other than that, I think came out really, really nice. It's definitely not urban or suburban. This is almost like campground. But I love the static grass applicator. I mean, I just can't stress like the importance of having one of those if you want to do a really nice layout. You almost have to have static grass. And you could do other stuff with it too, you know. You could flock vinyl figures with the static grass applicator. You could flock anything you want and make it furry or whatever. So it just needs trees, but since I'm shipping it, I'm just going to send the trees with it, and then the recipient can place the trees wherever they see fit. Like, I know where I would put them because I know what I had in mind when I designed the layout, which is it's basically like a campsite layout. You know, you have your backwoods dirt road, and then you have your little pull-off for your car or whatever. And then you have your little campsite thing here. So you could build like a little campfire. You could pitch a little tent. There's a lot of different things you could do. Man, picnic table maybe. But that's what I had in mind. Road, parking spot, little walking trail, and a little recreation area. You're really limited with 1 square foot. This is actually less than 1 square foot. So you're really limited as to what you can do. But I think, given the space available, I think it came out okay. I really do. Like I said, I just love that static grass. It really takes these layouts to the next level. I don't think there's really a substitute. Even if you look at it like... I really apologize for the shaky camera. All right, let's look at some diecast. This morning, I went to the Toy Pimp's house because we made a trade. And then we made arrangements to meet up this morning. So I got some pretty incredible cars this morning. Only got 11 cars. But 11 cars from his house. You can bet 11 cars from the Toy Pimp is like, it's like the beginning to an amazing collection. So we'll start with this. This is probably my least favorite car of the cars I picked up today. This is a Konami Hakosuka Skyline GTR 4-door. It's a different body style than the Tomica Limited Vintage. And I did notice on this one there are some paint issues. That is something that you may find with some Konamis from time to time. Also, you can find that issue with Tomica Limited Vintage. Or not Tomica Limited Vintage, Kyosho rather. I've seen it with Kyosho as well. Although with Kyosho it's pretty uncommon. It does seem to be a little bit more common with Konami. I'm going to try to improve the lighting a little bit here. Hopefully that helps. I mean, it's a really cool car. With Konami, you get lensed headlights, transparent lensed headlights on, I'm pretty sure every model. I know every Konami car that I have has lensed headlights. They don't all have lensed taillights, but they all do have highly detailed taillights. So there's that. Hakosuka 4-door Nissan Skyline. I guess I'll just work least favorite to most favorite, which is going to be kind of hard because I pretty much love the rest of these. Since I already have this one in a different color, I'll do this one first. It's a 1970 Toyota Celica GT. Also from Konami. But definitely do like this color better. It just shows up so much better on camera than the red one. This one does have lensed headlights and taillights. A nice little Toyota Celica. And the paint on this one is nice. No issues. So these Konami cars are metal body, plastic base, rubber tires with tread, prototypical wheels. Most of them, not all of them, have sprung suspension. There's your plastic base. They only made these cars for, I want to say like 2 years, maybe 3 years. So they didn't make them for very long. And yes, it is the same Konami that made your Nintendo games back in the day. Same company. Okay, Toyota Corolla Levin. I like this one a lot. This is one that I really wish that Tomica Limited Vintage would do. This one does have lensed headlights and taillights. Awesome new Toyota. So how many new Toyotas did I get for the collection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 5 Toyotas. And then I got 2 Nissans. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 Mazdas. Which the Mazdas, well, it was kind of unintentional. Matter of fact, let's look at the, well, let's do this Kyosho first, because this is the only European car that I picked up today is a Kyosho Lancia Delta. This is a car that I have been wanting. TLV does this car as well. I've been wanting to get one of these, and when I saw that he had one, and he sells most of his Kyosho for $10, which is a lot less than if you go to eBay or secondary market. You can find some Kyosho for $10 on eBay, but then you got to pay shipping and you got to wait a month for it to arrive. But look at these wheels. I mean, to me, there's no question Kyosho is the best in the business when it comes to prototypical wheels. So, really nice little car, lens, headlights, and taillights. Ton of detail, and I like the color too. I think that's a cool color. Okay. So now we will look at some of the Mazdas that I got. Starting with this. This is made by Konami, and it's a 1968 Mazda Cosmo Sport. This is a pretty rare car. I think there are less than 5 of these that have been imported into the US. I know that Jay Leno owns one. It's also a tooling that Tomica Limited Vintage has since taken on. This is the Konami version of the car. The TLV is, you know, it's a lot nicer, like everything that they do. Anything that they do it better than anybody. But that is not to say that this isn't a nice car, because this is a really nice looking car. It's got great sculpted detail. It's got amazing looking OEM wheels. Ton of trim detail. It's got a great stance. Really nice looking transparent headlights. And then the taillights are painted chrome. Very nice looking little car. Wood steering wheel. Pretty cool feature to get in a little car like this. So that's the 68 Mazda Cosmo. Now we move up 7 years and we have a 1975 Mazda Cosmo. This one is also made by Konami. This is a big, heavy car. Heavier than most Konamis. Great looking prototypical wheels on this. Nice looking front end with the lensed headlights. There are some paint imperfections on this one. This one did not come new in the package, but it's still a really nice little car. Also has transparent lens tail lights. That's a fantastic looking car. So that's the stock version. Let's look at a custom version of that car from Aoshima. This thing is amazing. Not sure what year this one is, but I think it is the same year. If it's not the same year, it's got to be really close, because they have a ton of similarities, like this window here. I mean, just to show you here. I'm pretty sure they're the same year. Taillights look identical. I don't know. If any of you know, comment below. But this is Aoshima. You can see it's very customized with the fender flares. It's been slammed to the ground. You have some aftermarket wheels. You've got an aftermarket spoiler, aftermarket paint job, which is actually a beautiful paint job. This one came brand new in the package, so it's in really nice condition. The only thing I saw was with that rear wheel. Looks like a little bit of a dent in it, like it curb checked. I love this car though. It looks amazing. The color and the detail look pretty phenomenal. So we're getting down to it now. Only 4 more cars. The last Mazda that I got today is another Konami. This one is, I don't know what year it is, but it's just, well, it's a 72. So it's a 1972 Mazda Savannah. And it looks very similar to the RX-3. So I don't know if it's the predecessor to the RX-3 or what, but it has some beautiful detail. It's a really nice roller. I love the front end on these. So I have an RX-3 made by Kyosho and also by Aoshima. Both of those are RX-3 Savannahs. But this one doesn't have the RX-3 designation. Really cool looking car though. Okay. My favorite Toyota that I picked up today. It's a Konami Toyota Crown Hardtop. I don't know the year on this one. But it is a large, heavy car by Konami standards. It's an excellent rolling car. It's got suspension, soft rubber tires. Got your square lens headlights there. Indicators. There's your tail end. These are also lensed. A little bit of wear on the bumper, which to the naked eye is almost invisible. Everything else about the car is pretty much perfect. Yeah, this is one of my favorites of all of today's assortment. These last two are going to be pretty tough to beat though. The last car that I'm going to show you guys is one of the best looking 1/64 scale diecast cars ever made. Anyways, Konami Toyota Crown. Alright, this one here, Kyosho. And this one is near and dear because I own one of these. I don't own this car, but I own a Lexus, so I do have Lexus bias. So this wouldn't be my first color choice. The other colors that it was available in was yellow and red. But it still looks really good. It has that very well known, very recognizable Lexus front end. They've been doing that front end on all of their cars now for a few years. It's a very distinctive look. It has amazing looking prototypical wheels. It's a very nice rolling car. Does have lens headlights and taillights. And, you know, it's just an amazing car for the Toyota collection. Dual exhaust. All right, well, let's take a look at this. What I would say, I think you could make the argument that this is the nicest 1/64 scale diecast car ever made. It is made by Tomica Limited Vintage, and it's a Nissan GTR. I don't really recall the year. 2017. So it's a 2017 GTR. And for this model, Tomica, they did change the tooling from the previous GTR. So it's not the same tooling. The front end is totally different. Something else they changed with this one, the earlier models of this GTR from Tomica Limited Vintage do not have sprung suspension. This one does. It has these amazing looking prototypical wheels. Everything about this car is pretty much spot on replicated. The color, which, by the way, is amazing. If you guys are interested, I think he had 2 more of these, and he's asking 30. So holler at the Toy Pimp on Instagram, because 30 bucks, if you go to eBay, you're going to spend at least 50 to 60 on this one. So to get it for 30, it's a great deal. He also has a couple of the Tomica Ferrari car dealerships. You want one of those. But this thing is just amazing to me. Lens headlights and taillights. It's just so well done. Seeing it here on camera does no justice. Even the interior. I mean, look at the cluster. Look at the console. That is a ton of detail. You can, I mean, there's even buttons in there. That's just an insane amount of detail for a 1/64 scale car. It's definitely the nicest GTR that they've made, in my opinion. And as I said, I think it could be argued that this is the nicest 1/64 scale casting ever produced. So with all of that said, let's just recap everything real quick. Some really cool stuff today that came home with me. I'm happy to, I only go over there once or twice a year. I would like to do it a lot more, but it gets expensive quick when you go over there, so you do kind of have to be careful. But here's a recap. You got the 1968 Mazda Cosmo. Got the mid-70s Mazda Cosmo. 1975 Mazda Cosmo. 1972 Mazda Savannah. 2017 Nissan GTR. I think the Lexus is a 2017 or 2018. And then we have the Corolla, which I don't know the year on that one, but I think it's early 70s. Got the Toyota Crown. 1970 Toyota Celica GT, and then you've got the Hakoska four-door Skyline GTR, and then the lone European model of the haul, the Lancia Delta. So from another video that I haven't posted yet, and I'm not sure if I'm going to, just wanted to recap these awesome looking JDM cars. The Konami Toyota Starlet. That thing there is a little gem. Very hard to find. Probably the most valuable casting in my entire collection. And then, of course, this beautiful looking Johnny Lightning Nissan 240 SX. It's a car that they did an absolutely amazing job with. Surprisingly, it doesn't have any stance issues. It's the only JDM casting that they have that does not have a stance issue. So, all right. Well, thank you everyone for checking it out. Enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. Have fun barbecuing. And I will holler at you all at the next video.